Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to GT3 Sundays with Formula Racing League. You find us here tonight at Donnington Park for round 5 of the championship. It's good to be here, and just to introduce my fellow commentator, RSR Cooper. How are you this evening? Yeah, indeed, this is one of my favourites to drive, actually. Love Donny. Yeah, I do. I'm just having a bit of an issue here, Coots. The audio doesn't appear to be coming through. 1 second. Yeah, I do. I'm just Having a bit of an issue here, Coops. The audio doesn't appear to be coming through.
Go on, go ahead, Coops.
So, yeah, Dave, I'm just having a bit of an issue here, Coops. The audio doesn't appear to be coming through. Go on, go ahead, Coops. So, yeah, Dave, I'm just having a bit of an issue here, Coops.
Coops, check your share settings here. I still can't seem to get audio through for you. So, or Rashid, can't hear anything.
Okay, well, I had something was selected there, not where I was, that didn't allow my thing to be shared. So I am sharing it now. Any joy with that?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, didn't allow my thing to be shared. Well, let's carry on then. I am sharing it now. So, a bit of a technical hitch there, guys. I don't know if obviously you didn't catch that, but we did just have a great chat with Rashid, who joined us as the featured driver. And me being a numpty had something selected which didn't allow that part to be shared, which I apologise for. So let's crack on. Let's recap on what Rashid was saying. So Rashid is from Morocco. He's lived in Spain for 20 years. He's been sim racing for about a year and a half. He's not been amazingly happy with his last couple of races, but he thinks he knows why. He's looking to rectify that, and he thinks FRL is spot on. He's impressed with what the admin guys do, and the diversity of what we can put on for everybody. So again, I thank Rashid for doing that, and I do wish him luck for tonight. But Timmy, hi! What a great time to join the show.
Yeah. Congratulations, ruined it the same as the first effort.
I just want to keep our viewers. What I'm trying to do is, because you're broadcasting, I'm trying to sabotage it so when they start watching, they can't hear me, and then they leave.
Yeah, that would sound about right for you, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's a good idea if that was what I was doing. Right, Donnington Park. What do we love about Donnington?
What do I love about Donnington? It's a great, fast-flowing circuit. Couple of decent straights to have a go at overtaking. Some excellent elevation changes, you know, down cranny curves to the old hairpin. A lot of elevation change. Coppice, blind corner, right-hander. Up the hill, so lots of grip into braking. Opens up I really enjoy this circuit. It's a great circuit to drive, if you ask me.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love it. I think it's amazing. It's a brilliant. It's also a great track to view at as well, isn't it? We've been there a million times in our ages on this planet. It's a great track. I love going there. I love driving on it. I think the GT4s was really interesting the other night. I think this is going to be a stonking race tonight, and I'm looking forward to tacos as well on Tuesday, so we can get to do exactly what Tarek's just doing in the pit lane there, doing some donuts.
To GT3 it up.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's such a fast track, isn't it? You know. And there's lots of room for error in terms of making them, which it will keep you on your toes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a technical track coming down through Craners into the old hairpin, up through Starker's Bridge and Swants and McLean's. It's a really great circuit. It's like a circuit of two halves, really. Obviously, you've got all this sweeping fast bit at the bottom of the circuit, and then two long straights and hairpins and chicanes in there. So it's a good mix of different kind of technical sections of the circuit, sort of thing.
Well, that was the quickest track guide you've ever done to me.
Thanks for that, mate. Yeah.
It was brilliant. I mean, that was like, bosh.
Yeah, I'll try and do a proper one later on, But yeah, that's it. Sums the circuit up. Don't need to bother anymore.
No, exactly. Just drive fast, downhill, uphill, left, right, bends, blind corners, elevation change, heavy braking zones. Do you know what I love about Donnington is the fact that the pit lane, I almost always crash. I know I featured quite well on the top of the tops that came out today. And I wasn't even trying to get in the pit lane then, but I do have issues with my right foot coming out of the last corner and spearing off towards the pit lane. I need to work on that for Tuesday.
Yeah, both hairpins, Goddard's and the Melbourne Loop hairpin. The back end wants to go on, yeah. Especially, say, Goddard's the one you're referring to there. It's kind of off camber on the outside of the circuit. So the back end likes to escape from you if you're not careful.
Yeah,
in fact,
it certainly does.
I raced there one time and a really nice Irish guy in a single seater spun it there and hit the pit wall right in the entrance. Could have got on the track or in the pits and hit the wall right in the middle. It's a great spectacle.
Can you say that you raced at Donnington?
I have raced at Donnington, yes. Many moons ago.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but now you've mentioned it, I think you should share with our community just how much of an alien you used to be. Come on, tell us this. Come on, real through practice. Tell us a story.
I'd never referred to myself as an alien, even when I was younger. Never mind now I'm an OP.
Yeah, nor would I.
It's not a story to tell. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. There's no story to tell.
Yeah, that's it. Great circuit to race on the end.
Well done. Well, do you know what? Don't tell the story. Don't tell it. It can just have an air of mystery about it. People will be like,
that's it.
What is the story? They'll be writing to you, Steve. I've done it again. I'm just going to call you Steve today.
Just email if you want an autograph, it's no problem.
Yeah, email it. I'm not an alien at steve.timmy.
Yeah.
Good. Alright, no story there. Although I've got a story, a very quick one.
Oh, go on then.
Never, ever lend Timmy a pen that you just bought from the Donnington Park Museum. Okay? Just throwing it out there, guys, in case we all meet up at a racetrack at some point and Timmy's like, can I borrow a pen? Because he likes to write down in the, like... He likes to choose his cars, which I normally win over the course of the weekend, but I never got my pen back. And how many years ago was that?
20?
Yeah,
maybe.
That's right. So, I want that pen back.
Good luck finding that.
I'm going to start a campaign. I'm going to get... What's that bird's name who does all the... did I just say bird on TV? That's terrible. That's female. That booby lady, what's her name, who does the all the climate stuff, that young girl? I'm going to email her, and I'm going to get a petition going to get Cooper's pen back.
Okay, good luck with that.
Right, okay. Go on then. So, to me, why don't you run through where we're at with the standings? That would be a good place to start.
Run through, okay.
Yeah.
Standings. So, GT3 Sunday stand-ins after round 4 Hungary, which was a really good race at the Hungaroring, I have to say.
It was.
So, top of the table at the moment, we've got Lock and Load on 234 points. We've got Lely 9 in second place at 162 points. Keddy had closed the gap down to, 6 points at 156, but unfortunately he's missing this weekend away on holiday. So, ground he made up is going to lose. Joseph Tro, 73 on 102, had a great showing last weekend as well.
Yep.
I believe he won Driver of the Week, did he not, this week?
He did indeed. Congrats.
Yes, congrats indeed. Then you've got Crazies on 100 points, just 2 points behind Joseph. Then Mr. Error on 86, Gamer Dad 85. DJ Clark, who again is missing this week, on 70 points. And Chica also on 70 points, so the two teammates neck and neck at the moment. Rashid, who you were attempting to talk to earlier, on 66 points. Hutch on 64. James Williams, the man himself, on 59 points. Tarek on 40. Tugberg, again missing this week, on 31 points. Tagkowski, also not driving, I believe. Oh no, he is in today, isn't he? Yeah, he isn't today.
Yeah.
20 points. Uvolton 19. King of the Hills 16. Darren Mark on 12. Dal on 7. And Dal is the last point scorer.
He is indeed. He is. I was watching some footage from Friday's endurance race. And Dal's a character. I know we had Uvolton on who, can use a bit of blue language. But, if you've got a bit of spare time, have a look at Dal's channel. He is, some of the stuff he comes out with is amusing, most definitely. And sometimes he really tries to keep hold of it. I think at one point he said, "You effing," what did he say? So he started off with something profound like that, and then he said something nice afterwards. I was like, okay, that was totally, black and white. But anyway, I'm babbling as usual. So we've run through those stand-ins.
Do you have the constructors?
I will have the constructors, potentially. Probably not.
I could do it if you like.
I think you should. I think we need to inform our viewers. This is a disclaimer here. My internet is pants today. I've only managed just to pretty much get logged in, and then we've had all the sound issues. And we figured out that I can't have the computer running at the same time because there's just not enough bandwidth coming through, which is shocking.
I get the distinct feeling after the sound of the internet problems that it might actually be the operator. Just a hunch.
Yeah, it might be. It might be the operator, yeah. That's right, I've got my day back at school tomorrow, don't I?
Okay, so the Constructors' Championship then. At this moment in time, it's run DJC Racing on top with 300 points. Glorious Wings on 248, so both Bentley teams right up there. Then you've got Iron Brew Racing Team in the Ferrari on 203. Team Becco in the Mercs on 149. Then Not Fast just into Stella in the Audis are 126 points. Then Triple X Motorsport in the Nissans on 117. Yeah, Gulf McLarens on 111. Berlin's Most Wanted on 107, so quite tight in that area of the table. Twaziki Motorsport on 65. Yeah, however you say that.
I have to practice that one.
Yeah. And then Audi Sport CR on 62 points. So that's your constructor standings.
Thank you for that. How's the bourbon?
The bourbon is actually gone, to be fair.
You haven't refilled. You've got ages to refill. You can refill. I want you to say Twaziki Twazak after you've had a few of those. It's got to happen. So in terms of race checking, I've managed to find some kind of technology. So obviously Keddy's absent. He's, living it up in Brazil. Fair play. We don't know where Clark and Tugberg are. Hopefully they're both okay, and we'll join back in next week. So we have standing in. We've got Shadow Lancers in the Audi, number 29. Big Time Dave, he's back in. He's in the Merc, the number 122 Merc, and I believe we have a first outing for Nitty Mike 100. however I pronounce that. Please correct me. Who's in the number 10 Audi, who's jumping in today. So I'm sure they'll enjoy themselves. It's kind of a baptism of fire in this league, especially with the quality that's there and at this track.
Yeah, indeed. It's be interesting to see how the new guys go, and if anybody's going to challenge lock and load with the absence of Keddy. Obviously, Lely's the most likely man to do that, you would suggest. But yeah, it should be some interesting battles through the field. So we've got just under 5 minutes of free practice left. Obviously, lock and load is currently at the top of the leaderboard with a 1:28.1. Crazies and Lely both in the pits, 0.3 of a second behind. And Joseph, who had such a great showing last weekend, it's fourth, 0.7 behind. And Hutch, within a second of the top boys, 0.954 behind. So they're the current top 5 runners in free practice.
Yeah, it's good. I think this is going to be a closer one than the others. I don't know. I've just got a feeling. I've got a feeling that anything can happen at this track. As we've found out in the GT4s, you know, it only really takes a very, very small error on this track, and there's quite big consequences because it's such a quick, track, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it's a bit like Brands. It's not quite as tight as Brands. It's a faster, more open circuit for me. But same, you've got no runoff areas as such. You know, you're straight onto grass.
Sorry. I was going to do a joke then, but I'll think better of it. Okay. It's because you were talking about your big butt there, Steve. But anyway, go on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Anyway, I was just saying that it's not forgiving grass either side. You know, any mistakes in the corners.
You've got grass either side of your butt.
Sorry, which one of us is it that had the bourbon?
Mate, I'm having a great time. I'm just enjoying myself with our community. Don't worry about it. Right, I'm going to be professional for the rest of the night because Timmy told me off last week, guys and girls. Timmy told me off. He said I was very unprofessional and I should rein it in a little bit.
We've been unprofessional so far tonight with the miserable failure of an interview, haven't you? So, you know, you might as well just give up.
I conducted the interview. Just
with
no
yourself.
one could hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one could hear it. Right, 2 minutes.
Okay. So, predictions? Any predictions for this week, Cooper, or not?
I don't know. I think Joseph's going to have another good run because I know. I think it's been lent some setup information by yours. Keddy. I think it's given some information on setup. So I think that will help him. He's evidently a good driver, and I think if the car is behaving as it should do a bit more for him, he might be able to push on with that. I'm expecting Lenny to have a good race. It's nice to see Crazies up there as well. Lock and Load, I can't say much about Lock and Load. I mean, he's just been pretty much out there every single race we've had so far. We'll wait and see what happens. Don't know. I hope Chica keeps it out of the barriers today, and I do hope Rashid has a decent race today because those two guys have seemed to be attracting bad luck. So in terms of a win, I can't go any further than Lock and Load at the moment. To me, I just don't see. I don't see anyone dethroning him at the moment.
Well, I guess we'll find out what kind of form he's in shortly when qualifying starts. When we get down to the real racing, as it were.
Yeah, the meat and bones of it. Yeah, it'd be good. It's good to see Tarkowski back, and you know he's up near the top end, and we know he's quick in the Audi, so we'll see what he can do today. Volton's looking okay in 11th with Tarek, Shadow Lancer, King of the Hills. You know what? I want to actually give a shout out to King of the Hills. I listened to his commentary the other day, and it was good, mate. It was good. If Timmy drops dead, I'll give you a shout.
What was he commentating on?
how bad your driving is. No, he was King of the Hills was, I believe, doing tier 2 on our GT4s.
Ah, okay.
Him and Lurchy's been doing it, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, how did you get on with the GT4 race at Donnington? How did it go for you?
Do you know what? I've got to say, although I came last, yeah, I was really happy with that race because apart from the issue in the first bend where me and Omroz had a little tap and then we raced each other down the grass, I then worked my way up from last to 7th. Had good pace all race, I've got to say, and then I had great pace in the pit lane, really great pace in the pit lane, so much so they gave me a penalty for that, and that ruined the race. But other than that, I thought it was quite a good entry into GT4s. You did all right though, didn't you?
Yeah, my last
you could have done better, I think.
Yeah, well, my last 2 races, I've done a 4th and a 6th. I did 4th at Zolder in the rain, which really, really annoyed me because that was a poor result. Because yet again, for whatever reason, my car settings keep not saving. So in the rain, it decided to try and put dry tyres on. And unlike the last race, I spotted it when I got to the pits, so kind of had to stop in the pits for about 15 seconds to change my tyres and my pressures. So, and I finished 20 seconds behind, you know, 2nd and 3rd. So with that out, I'd have been fighting right further up the top, and I finished about 20 seconds behind. So I was very annoyed and disappointed with that result. But the 6th place I took at Donnington, the GT4s, I was much happier with that because I didn't feel like there was much left in the really super duper car that you've given us.
Well, if you think it was super duper at Donnington, you need to go and try it at Alton Park, where we are, for a double stint race next Thursday, because she's beautiful there. I'm at least 5 seconds off I'm 5 seconds off the pace there at the moment without doing much practice, and that is awesome. Qualifying is underway. It is. This is it. It's going to get feisty now.
Lock and Load is the first one out of the pits, and the first one is going to start a flyer. So we'll go on board with Lock and Load and see what he can post driving in anger, shall we?
Yeah. So let's hope no one come. I think the other really interesting thing with Donny is where the pit lane joins the track. He's obviously right in the middle of the braking zone down into Redgate. You come across that line, you're almost in the pit lane, aren't you, when you're slamming on the anchors?
Yeah, it's right into the racing line, isn't it? So
yeah. So let's hope that people coming out of the pit lane are using their mirrors. Because
I don't think it's really for the people out of the pit lane to use their mirrors, so more as the people coming down the start-finish straight to give them the space as they come out of the pits. You know, it's not a giveaway sign at the end of the pits, is it?
It should be a giveaway sign.
Maybe they should have a red traffic light or something.
Well, maybe.
Pedestrian crossing, lollipop lady, something like that.
Well, as long as she's a good girl, lollipop lady, that would look quite nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember those rebellion ones? Well, yeah, but not in the world of Sim. You could make one up.
Like a Barbie or something.
No.
Cindy, is that the other one? Now. Yeah, Cindy.
Cindy, yep. Fucking hell. Barbie and Cindy together.
We're off the subject.
Anyway.
Yes, there's racing happening. Oh dear. So Chica got it a bit out of shape coming through McLean's there. I just spotted behind Lock and Load, so he's will have lost some time out of there. So Lock and Load's going down the Dunlop straight, coming up to the S's onto the Malbourne Loop. Again, that's a chicane you've got to absolutely muller the curves in. I like to use the word muller. Good old-fashioned, you know, smash it up kind of word.
Yeah, we use it a lot today.
Yeah. So, should I tell you what we haven't done? Track guide. Should we do a quick track guide? I know it wasn't really a track guide. It was like a 30-second, you know, this is what I like about the circuit.
I'll tell you what then, go on board, stay on board with Lock and Load, and you've got to do this your challenge, yeah?
Okay, so it's coming down to Redgate, and you pick up the end of the pit lane, the green bit is your braking marker, you brake, drop it down to 2nd, a late apex, keep it tight and not too early on the gas. Hit the accelerator through the right-hander of Hollywood, yeah? Then you start to drop down the hill through Craner curves, keep it tight to the 2 right-hand curbs. Sweep left, pick up the curb on the left, and keep it left. On the brakes for hairpin, old hairpin, 3rd gear, smash the curb, pick up the curb on the left, fly under Starkey's Bridge, which isn't there anymore, Then the left-hander through Schwantz, pick up the curb on the left, braking hard, down to second for myself, keep it tight, run wide, use all the curb on the exit McLean's, go up the hill to the blind crest, right-hander into Coppice, pick up kind of the middle of the circuit, which is where you want to be, and then the curb on the right as you come out onto the what would be Dunlop Straight in the old days. Hammer it down there, flat out. Just after the curb, you're picking up the second board, the 100 board, hit the brakes, cut as much of the curb as you can without getting a penalty, nail it through the S's there, down to Melbourne Loop. Again, 100 board, smash the brakes, turn in, keep it late for me, it's kind of a late apex, double apex hairpin, nail it up the hill towards Goddard's, pick up the first board on your left-hand side as your brake marker, keep it tight through Goddard's hairpin. Again, it's like a late apex, and then nail it through the start and finish line. How about that?
Well done. That's what
That's the fastest. That's the fastest track guide ever, no?
That's what the viewers want to hear. They don't want a 5-lap track guide. They want to hear you like. But you didn't say Muller. You didn't say Muller. That
wow, I couldn't fit. It's too long a word. Too long a word to fit in that such a fast track guide.
And so there's a more representative time. We're in the 27s.
Okay.
So 27.9. Joseph is in second at the moment. 0.8 behind. Yeah. Lenny is also 0.8 behind. There's only sort of 20 thousandths between those two. Then you got Crazies, who's a couple of tenths off, 3 tenths off them. Chica, Hutch, and Taskowski.
Yeah, Crazy's going to be the next one over the line. That's all right. Coming through Goddard's right now.
Fine,
What's he going to set? So he goes fast. Ooh. Yeah, he goes second. Right, only 0.29 nice off lock and load. That's a great lap.
Nice lap. Yeah, that's a very good lap. Okay, who hasn't set one yet? Dow, Tariq, Marpat, Rashid, Nit. I'm sorry, Nit or Nitty. I don't know how to pronounce your name yet. I'll ask on Discord. Oh, and Omroz is in. Omroz has joined us.
So Shadowlancer Jamaica across the line didn't improve his time. Dal, is he going to? So Dal's just started a fast lap. So his first lap, fast lap that'll be. Lock and load's coming over the line now. I think he goes marginally quicker then. I didn't pick up where 444. Who's 444? Oh, Tariq Tornado.
That's Tariq.
Yeah. 333. Who's 333? Marpat. So crosses the line. And he goes up to 9th. Who's number 10? He's gone number 10 now. It's a new guy, so what's he going to do? He come across the line. Right, so he goes last. He's significantly off the pace, but hopefully he'll improve that through the session. So how else we got
just
coming
on board
through?
with Crazies as well. Crazies is coming up towards the last hairpin, but he's 4 tenths down, so he's not going to improve on this lap, and he's run way too deep. Yeah, he's lucky he didn't catch the grass there.
I'm on with Omaroz, who hasn't set a time yet. He's just coming through Goddard's. And he's gone back in the pits, so still hasn't set a time. Now, whether he invalidated that lap's gone in for refuelling, I don't know. It's a possibility.
Alright, Rashid's just coming down the start-finish straight. He's starting his fast. I'm going to keep an eye on Rashid, again, as a featured driver, see what he can do.
So Shadowlancer's coming across the line now. So he doesn't improve his time, so whether he was on an outlap, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
So Dow's coming back round, still not set a time. Will this? No, again, still hasn't. So whether he keeps invalidating his lap, I'm not so sure.
Must do. Right, Rashid's just thrown it off, unfortunately, so he's not going to do anything on that lap. Chica's up into 3rd. That's a good showing, Chica. So Lenny's under a bit of pressure at the moment. He's just he's coming down towards Coppice at the moment. He needs to put a better lap in because there's people between him and lock and load. Yeah. Someone's gone off in front of him there.
Yes, I'm still on with Dal. So far, it looks to be a clean lap.
Yep.
Whether he's taking it a bit easy to try and get a clean lap in. Goes up the hill to Coppice. Oh, he's got it all sideways. Keeps holding it there. Whereabouts is Ellie on the track?
Melbourne Loop.
Okay.
He stopped that nicely. That's a good drive out there.
Yeah, so
that traction control. I think he must have that traction control on quite high because that was really kicking in then.
Like I say, coming out of either hairpin, the car wants to slide away, so he'll spin up the wheels a bit. So far, so good by the look of it with Dow. He's just coming through the Melbourne
Lenny's
hairpin.
improved. Lenny's gone up to third, half a second down.
So Goddard's it is, just want to see how he gets on. And does he set a time? He looks like he's going fairly slowly. And he's gone very wide coming out of there, whether that's invalidated again. No, he's set a time. 1:32. So he's having a bit of problem at the moment in qualifying his Dow. So who have we got out
Joseph's
onto?
coming across the line. Oh, Joseph's going on to a flyer. So we've got just over 5 minutes left of qualifying at the moment. Locker Loads in the only person in the 27s at the moment. And then Crazies is nearly 3/10 off, followed by Lely, who's 2/10 further back. And then we've got Chica and Joseph, who are pretty much together in terms of their splits. And Hutch is in his favourite position of 7th at the moment.
Yeah, as he's upped his game, and is it not Tarek Tornado he's normally jousting with? It's a bit further down the grid today.
Yep.
I think Hutch did a very good job at the last race as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he finished 7th in the last race, yeah, he did. So Big Time Dave and Shadowlance are doing pretty well. They're 10th and 11th. That's good starting places for them at this stage. The other new chap is down in 17th. Ooh,
there's just been a crash in the pit lane. Did you see that?
No, I was on board watching Joseph have quite a moment through the chicane.
Tarek Tornado is Keddy's teammate, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think he decided to use the line at the end of the pit lane as the giveaway. Maybe that lollipop lady turned up. And I think it was... Who is Dal's teammate Crazies? I think Crazies went straight into the back of him.
Yeah.
Whilst he was stopped waiting at the end of the pit lane. So that was entertaining.
Well, Joseph has improved. He's now only 3/10 off pole. He's gone up to 4th. So it's down to Chica to see if he can do the same thing.
Yeah, Chica's just about to come across the line. Does he improve or not? Doesn't appear so.
No.
Who's the Bentley behind him? Number 17. Oh, Rashid. So it looks like Rashid improved his time slightly, but didn't move position, so still in 11th place.
No, well, he did, because on the last lap he hadn't set a time until the last one, so he's probably just put a sighter on and he's got 3 minutes to stick a proper lap in.
Kowski's coming across the line, doesn't seem to improve, and the man behind him, 21, still not almost. So he's having a bit of a torrid time. He doesn't seem to have set a time. Yeah, but he hasn't set a time. He's been out several laps now by the look of it, but no time set. So whether he's pushing just a bit too hard and invalidating, maybe he just needs to get a clean lap in.
Yeah, well, he knows the track, because Omros was the chap that I was with nose to tail for most of the GT4 race, so he knows where he's going.
Joseph's coming across the line and goes second. Yeah,
well
0.3 behind. So what's that? A 1:28.1?
Yeah, because Locker Loads improved his time.
Yeah, he has, first and only person into the 27s at this moment.
Yeah.
So Chica again is coming across the line right now and improves his time, but stays in 5th place.
Oh, Rashid, get it. Oh, Rashid just crosses the line. He's gone up to 8th, sorry, so he's improved, but he had a big moment there on the way out of that
just caught the end of it.
Yeah. So where are we? Where are the battles going to develop then? So, you know, 0.3, 0.5 isn't that far off Locker Load, but then he can't be pushing too hard at the moment because he's not really under any pressure. It's not like he's trying to pound the laps in. So I think he's quite comfortable. Lenny could probably do with improving. I don't think Lenny will want anybody between him and JR.
Yeah, just to note, Omros has gone across the line again and no time set.
No time.
So obviously not having a very good time out there at the moment.
No. So Joseph's gone into the pits. Chica's in the pits. You'd think you'd think they're done then with 1 minute 22 left of qualifying.
So who's out there? 666. Who's that at the moment? So that's
Well,
Mr. Error is about to come across
Mr.
the line.
Error.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does he improve any? Yes, he does. Goes up to 8th place. Uvolton followed him through. I believe it was Uvolton.
I'm just on board with Lely down at the Melbourne Loop at the moment. Just, man, he's got to turn that traction control down, man.
So Rashid's just coming across the line as well out of Goddard's. Doesn't appear to make an improvement. Lely's just about to follow him through. Again, also no improvement.
Nope. Okay.
Number 29, Shadow Lancer went up 1 place from 12th to 11th.
Well done. So he's sort of he's leading the newish guys at the moment then, because Big Time Dave was in front of him.
So
Marpat's gone up.
no, Marpat went down 1 because Hutch just pipped him by 3 thousandths of a second. Immediately behind him.
They're going to have a good race, those two.
Yeah. So Crazy's about to come across the line. This will be his last lap because only 3 seconds to go. I don't think he'll make the line again.
I think Tarkowski's giving it everything he's got. Like, he's throwing it everywhere. Don't know if that's going to be fast or not.
Yeah. So
Looks fast.
Lock and Load coming out through Goddard's just to finish his last lap in qualifying. Doesn't improve. 666, which is Mr. Error. Again, also doesn't improve. Number 79. Who's 79?
79 is Uvolton.
Yeah, so he didn't look like he's moved either. Number 10 is the next person across the line, who is our new man, Nitty, however we're pronouncing this.
Yep.
And doesn't improve, so he's got a lot of work to do in the race. Number 9, which is Lely, is about to come across the line. And Lely goes second, pulls it out of the bag on the last lap. 0.339 behind Lock and Load.
Oh, Tarkowski's like literally, he's on his delta. He's half a tenth up. Let's see if that's going to move him anywhere.
Right, that appears to be it. I think that's it. Qualifying is effectively finished. So, what we seem to have as our grid after Quali 1 for race 1 is Lock and Load on pole position with a 127.7. Lely 9 in second place, 0.3 behind him with a 128 flat. Joseph T. Rowe, first of the second rowers, in third place. Crazies in fourth, Chica fifth, Hutch sixth, which is a good showing from Hutch. Marpat in seventh, also a good showing, I think. Tarkowski's up there in eighth place. Mr. Error in ninth, Rashid in 10th. Then you got Shadow Lancer in 11th. Big Time Dave 12th, Uvolton 13th, King of the Hills 14th, Tarek Tornado in 15th, Darren Mark 16th, Dal 17th, the new guy Nitty in 18th. And for some reason, we have... Rashid must have gone in and out of the server because he's listed there in 19th as well, so 18-car grid effectively.
Awesome. I'm just going to look at sort of the socials whilst we're having a little break here. So Lurchy says hello to Timmy and Cooper. Hello. Keddy's watching from the beach. Of course he is. And he says that Joseph, my man, will win twice today. That's a confident thing. And Chris Gedman says, hilarious, lads. It's pronounced Twaziki Twazak. Well, we know it's probably pronounced Twaziki Twazak, but we just can't say it properly, mate. So,
especially when we're alcohol-fueled.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got some people watching, which is good. Good to have you with us. Good to have you with us, guys. The action is going to get started soon. Now, Timmy, I'm going to ask a question, because I don't want to disappoint our viewers, I don't want to disappoint those 5 hardcore viewers that we've got right now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same question I ask every week, which you know the answer to. Is it a full formation, that, or not?
No, I don't think so, mate.
Twat.
I think it's a standing start, to be honest.
It looks like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Looks like it.
We're definitely right on that, I'm sure.
Good. Do you know what? Turn 1, just going by the experience that I had last week, turn 1 is going to be major here. Yeah, I mean, I had an incident at turn 1, which was no fault of my own. I got squeezed and someone else came back on the track. I was in a bit of a sandwich. there's not a lot of space down there. Can
not...
Lely afford to let lock and load get out there?
Well, Lely's on the outside, so he's got to be careful about Joseph maybe trying to throw it up the inside in the first corner. Fortunately for Redgate, it's a fairly open corner, and it's not too tight. Obviously, it starts tighter and opens up, but you've got to be very careful not to get on the throttle too early because it will step, especially with cold tyres. I'm a sucker for that myself, with cold tyres at the start of a race, applying too much throttle. But it is a fairly open corner, so fingers crossed everybody will get through it without too much of an issue, but we'll see soon.
We will see. Lely, so Keddy thinks Joseph's going to win twice. I wonder if he's going to put... Keddy, if you are watching on the beach, I wonder if he's going to put a little bet on that, potentially. Don't know. Could be interesting. Crazy is one to watch out for. He knows this track very well, and I know we've had the whole Beamer chat over the last couple of weeks, but, he certainly seems to be taming that and using it quite wisely at the moment, so that's going to be an interesting one. And then you've got Chica again, P5. He's primed to do something good or get sucked into chaos.
Well, this is it. It's a decent qualifying, but you're right in the bit of the grid, if you like, where you could get sucked into trouble in that first corner. And the one thing you don't want, Craner curves, so obviously Redgate, Hollywood, and through the left-hand Craner curves, you don't really want to be side by side there, because it inevitably means somebody's going to go wide. They'll go off to the inside of the track, and they won't be able to stop, and somebody coming through the old hairpin and will get T-boned. That's the one thing that always happens when you're side by side through the Craner curves. There is only one line through there.
Okay,
but hey, we'll see.
I've just had my runner's just come up from the pit lane. Actually, he's just given me a piece of paper saying that Omros isn't actually racing in the league. He's joining in to have a bit of fun in the race. So he wishes everyone else good luck, which is probably why he wasn't setting a lap time. Yeah, because I know he's quick round here, and you can't go through qualifying without setting a lap time if you know the track. So. Good to have you on, mate. It's good. It's always good to get lap time in. And Joseph is telling Keddy not to jinx him, so they're having a team. Well, not a team chat. They're having a Macca chat, aren't they? So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So where was that? McLean's have just come through there. So
yep.
Half a lap to go. This is where the circuit changes into a different type of circuit. Yep.
A
couple of 2 or 3 long straights, really. Back straight, both ends of the loop, and Wheatcroft straight. So, they seem to be naming this Starkey Straight these days. I will forever know it as the Dunlop Straight because of the old Dunlop Bridge. That's the name of that straight, as far as I'm concerned. The end. And why would you want Starkey's twice? You've got Starkey's Bridge. Why do you want Starkey's Straight as well? So it's Dunlop Straight, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, maybe Starkey's paid a lot of money.
Maybe, yeah.
That's probably what it is, isn't it, really? So, for everybody that's watching, or anyone that's new, or that's joined FRL recently, we have had a lot of people join recently, which is awesome. I know I've been sort of touting a lot of the stuff on Facebook groups and this sort of stuff, so it's great to see a new the influx of drivers for the tiers and everything, and all the Patreon stuff.
You know what else is good to see, Cooper?
Me?
That's debatable. But you can get all the technical stuff to work when it's on your YouTube account and your Facebook. Except, when it's on mine and we've got to do an interview or something like that. It's like sabotage. Anyway, we'll back to that later. So here we go. Start, finish.
Practice. Right, let's go. Yeah. Remember, you need to say that word.
I'm not saying it. I promised everybody I wouldn't say it, remember? So I'm not going to say it. You watch everybody be clean.
Go!
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Joseph T-Row tried to make a move there to the side with somebody already there and just caused absolute chaos.
Was that Lely that he knocked into there? I think he probably got a massive chunk of wheel spin.
No, I think it was lock and load. Lock and load's gone. It's like
no way.
At the back.
I
think is it? No, lock and load's in the blue and gold, isn't it? So yeah, okay. Apologies. So yeah, it must have been Lely then.
The timing screen's going to do its thing again at the moment.
It's saying lock and load's 9th. See, it was lock and load. Yeah, must have been.
No, lock and load's going back up the grid again. You know the timing screen always has a brain fart on the first lap.
Yeah,
so...
212, that's Lily. That's lock and load, 212, yeah, so lock and load's fine. Like you say, it must have been Lily, who is going to be going absolutely mental.
Hey, who's third? Who's third and isn't dead yet? Chica.
No, Chica's second, mate.
No, it's Marpat. What is... No, Chica's second, according to my time.
Yeah, Chica's second. Yeah, it's just changed, but it's in the Mercedes, isn't he?
Well done, Chica.
The timing's causing chaos. Let's just ignore the timing and not ever watch that.
This is like me and you trying to set up a stream.
Oh dear. Lock and load's just getting out of there. So it doesn't appear to matter what I say at the start of the race. Maybe I should just not say anything.
Maybe you shouldn't say anything at all. I think you should just do your lap guide and then just let me deal with it.
Okay, we'll try that next time round,
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
Okay, so lock and load's away. Who's going on?
Who's winners and losers so far?
Well, Lely is definitely a loser at the moment. Unfortunately, again, he's down in 15th place.
Wow,
so
that's
he's way down there. Crazies has lost out down in 7th, but he's right up behind Tarkowski.
Yeah.
In fact, has he just made a move? Yes, indeed he has. So he's got himself back up in front of him, in front of Tarkowski. They appear to be... Oh, the crane of curves are coming through there, so...
Yeah.
So Crazy's got a place back. Rashid's in 8th, our featured driver. They didn't actually feature on the stream because of Cooper. King of the Hills in 9th and Uvolton in 10th. So that group of guys are doing well.
And Gamer Dad's in. Gamer Dad, he's in and he's fighting. I tell you what, that guy, he's going to be our featured driver next week. I had a chat with him earlier on this week.
He's going to try and be a featured driver. Yeah.
Well, he will because it will be my stream. It will work properly.
Oh yes,
and he's making a move.
I did just make that point.
He's making a move. Yes, on Uvolton, he's trying to make a move. He's going for his own teammate, King of the Hills. He's going to be thinking, "Slow down, dude."
Oh, and who's that gone through as well? That's Uvolton that's gone through. Followed him through.
Yeah. That's a tight pack down there. Mr. Error looks like he's trying to catch and put some pressure on Marpat. Joseph's still in 5th. Crazies is on his tail as it is. Oh, who's gone wide there? So Rashid's just gone wide, coming out the last hairpin. Good job he caught that, and someone's just in the pits already.
Yeah, one of the GTRs. Gamer Dad. Is Gamer Dad?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, Gamer Dad's just ducked it in. Good. Maybe he's thinking again, as we said last week. You know, you've got to have one mandatory stop in this series, so chuck it in straight away. You'll come out in fresh air, get some consistency going, and see if you can make some places up.
Yeah, so Marpat's sitting there in 3rd at the moment, quite close up behind Chica. Mr. Error finds himself in 4th place, so he's come out of that chaos in pretty good shape.
Yep.
He has got Joseph kind of hunting him down by the look of it.
Yep.
Takes a lot of curb for Coppice there.
Shadowlancer's also in the pits, just FYI.
Okay.
And Omros, who's having a race for fun, he's up in 12th at the moment. I think he's probably just glad he wasn't caught up in that. I did say the first corner would be a potential incident area. I didn't realise it would be 10 yards off the line. So Uvolton is only 2 tenths behind King of the Hills, just to let everybody know. And then Darren Mark, and then Omar. So that group of 4, they're having a good battle together.
Yeah, I've just got on board with Joseph, who it seems to be closing Mr. Error down, 0.6 of a second behind at the moment, in 5th place.
Yeah, that little group there. So you got what? You've got 3 or 4 there that are primed. Because Tarkowski's just had a moment there. What happened? He ended up on the grass a little bit there, so he's just probably dropped half a second or more to Crazies, which will annoy him because he was right on his tail. And Rashid's just taken to the grass again, I think. That Bentley's looking a bit leery for him, I've got to say.
Yeah, just on board with... Oh, Joseph's got all sideways come out of McLean's there. He's losing ground a bit at the moment to Mr. Erre. Looks like he's overdriving the car a little bit at the moment. I think that's the one thing with Donnington Park. You can overdrive the car quite easily. It wants you to kind of be nice and flowing and smooth
Yep.
with the car. It's very easy to overdrive it, which Joseph seems to be doing a little bit at the moment.
So Tarkowski's just had an issue. He's dropped a few places there. He's ended up in the middle of the battle with King of the Hills, Volton, Darren, and Omros. Unfortunately, I think he took to the grass, and he's lost a few places on that. So,
oh, Mr. Error's gone very deep there. As he left the door open, not quite. He was closing down Marpat. I believe that's Joseph's teammate, but he went very deep into Goddard's.
So just so we know, just having a look at Lock and Load. His last lap was a 27.3. He's currently up on his delta for this lap, although that's actually just gone to being half a tenth down. So he's doing what he does. He is plugging away, being consistent, building that gap.
So,
which 6.5 seconds is a lot down back to Chica.
Ormeroz has just had to take evasive action into Redgate. He nearly collected the back of Darren Mark, but managed to avoid contact. There's an Audi off the circuit there, which I believe is Tarkowski.
Oh, again. Yeah, oh, he's all over the place. There's going to be an incident there. I mean, when I watched him doing a couple of his qualifying laps, she looked loose. Let's put it that way. The car, that is, not the lollipop lady. Right, Big Time Dave. I'm going to have a look a bit further down. Let's have a look. So, Big Time Dave. He's in the Merc. Okay, he's doing all right. Dell and Lely. So Lely's all over the back of Dell at the moment for 14th and 15th place. Obviously, Lely wants that place, and Dell's not going to want to give that one up. And then you've got Hutch. Hutch is having a fight with Nitty. Again, don't know how to say your name, dude. So there are a couple of interesting battles there. Joseph is making a move on Marpak to me. He's right on his bumper at the moment, going down crane of curves. This could be. He's going to chuck one in at the old hairpin.
Teammate battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just got on board with them.
Oh, he got a bit. The back end steps out of it there, didn't he?
Yeah, Marpat was a little bit wide through an old hairpin, which would have been Joseph's chance, but like you say, Joseph got a little bit out of shape. So that kind of status quo remains.
Yep. We've got a headicam, that one.
Yeah, they come up to Coppice. Oh, and lots of grass taken there. Marpat's lost it out of shape. It's on the grass. Yeah, Joseph goes through onto the Dunlop straight.
Job done there. So that's him through. Then we've got Mr. Error, Rashid. So we've got some quite big gaps there. Tarkowski's half a second off King of the Hills. I would fancy him to definitely take that place back, and probably Volton as well.
Slipstreaming down to the S's. Oh, he's looked up the inside, but that's broke early. Got the run down to the Melbourne hairpin. Is it enough? He's diving up the inside. Can he outbrake him? Yeah, he's got up the inside. Looks like it's job done there, as long as he keeps it tight to the hairpin. Yeah, away he goes. Tarkowski is through.
Okay, good work. So Gamey Dad's back out the pits. Shadowlancer's out the pits as well. Hutch has decided to chuck it in the pits and get his stop done out the way. So Tarkowski, yeah, okay, so he's done that one. So in terms of real battles at the moment, I would go as far as to say there aren't really any at the moment. Everyone's, I mean, King of the Hills is half a second off Tarkowski, but he's just taken that place, so he's going to pull on him now.
Yeah, I think Joseph's starting to... He's pulling away from Marpat, who's made a mistake coming out of McLean's, but... Oh, I thought he kept holding it. He's just lost it into the wall.
That's going to be big damage. Big damage. Front ender straight into the angle on there. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, I was thinking
if
Joseph...
I was him,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'd be coming straight in the pits now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Joseph is now closing in on Crazies. He's taken 0.3 of a second off him in the last half a lap or so. So okay. He is now closing in on Crazies in front of him. Let's see if he can keep that up and put him under pressure.
So Joseph's quickest lap is a 28.8. His last was a 29.4. Let's see what Crazies was doing on the last one. Crazy's quickest is a 28.9, which was his last lap. So, in terms of fastest pace, Joseph is slightly quicker.
Right, sorry, just so that you know, Chica is in the pits,
Yep.
Cuba. Chica's gone into the pits.
Okay.
First, the front runners to blink.
Yep. Where's he going to slot out? Has he timed that well? That's the question.
So that will have promoted Joseph into 3rd place. Then Mr. Error into 4th.
And Tarkowski's doing as we expected. He's now only sort of half a second behind you, Holton. So I think that will move. That will change hands in the next lap.
Oh, and he's just gone off. He's straight off.
Wow.
I've just gone on board just as he's done that.
Yeah. Sorry, I've cursed the guy.
Yeah,
Sorry, dude.
Not the airtime you want, but yeah, it looks like he lost it. I don't know. It looks like he lost it coming through Craners, to be honest.
The start of Craners, he must have just touched the grass and that spat him straight across there.
Yeah, Marpat, having recovered, doesn't look like his car's that badly damaged because he is closing down on Rashid in front of him. He's now 0.6 of a second behind. So he's still driving okay. Maybe it wasn't such a heavy glance, although the car just looks significantly damaged on the front there. Can't be very good with its aero.
And the McLaren is quite heavy on its aero, as everyone knows, but I don't think Rashid's been having a lot of fun in that Bentley all race so far. I think it's a bit of a handful.
Yeah, so...
But then I know Rashid likes to change his traction control between corners whilst he's driving. I mean, I couldn't do that to save my life.
Well, maybe that's the sort of thing he needs to stop doing and get some consistency there first.
Or maybe we need to employ someone to stand next to us and press buttons whilst we're driving. Who knows?
Yeah, have a passenger, have a co-pilot. What are they called? Co-pilot, whatever it is.
Imagine a fucking sidecar.
I don't think you need one of them when you've got more than one seat.
Come on, Cyril, press the button. Right, Tarkowski's in the pits. King and Hills is in the pits. Darren has just jumped in the pits. So Dal is up to 11th.
Tell you what, I'm that bad at multitasking that what I probably could do with one of those cars, I don't know if you've seen them on Top Gear, where one person does the brakes and the other person does the steering. That
was many years ago, but yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's what I need though.
That was before I decided not to watch Top Gear.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time either.
No.
I rate Chris Harris, great driver, but just I don't know. It's not the same without the boys, is it? Not for me anyway.
No, not me.
So what's going on in this race? So everybody up to 9th has pitted. Bar Tarkowski, who's in the pits now, just coming out actually, I believe, and our new guy Nitty Knight. I'm going to call him Nitty Knight until we know which one it is.
Shall we call him Nitty Knight?
It's Nitty Knight, yeah, that's his name from now on. Unless, of course, he wants to, do a dictionary pronunciation thing written down on the Discord at some point. But Nitty Knight it is. So the top 9 still yet to pit. Joseph, the gap is kind of staying the same with Crazies, so just under 2 seconds, which has been like that for the last 3 or 4 laps. Mr. Error finds himself up in 4th place and Rashid in 5th. Question is, what sort of undercut, if any, are the guys that have pitted already going to get?
That's right. And I think Gamer Dad, in terms of where people that have pitted, Gamer Dad was obviously the first one to pit, but he is behind Chica on track. Okay, I know there's time between them there, but Chica was 2nd or 3rd when he pitted. 2nd, I think. So Gamer Dad might have been smart there. He might have managed to push himself up a little bit. We'll see when it shakes out. But I know you were talking about Nitty Knit, and I've got to say it, 'cause it's like
that wasn't his name. Nitty Knight, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Nitty Knight.
Nitty Knit Knight, whatever it is. Go on.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm just sitting here thinking about Monty Python, and we are the knights who say, Knit.
Oh dear.
Anyway, I couldn't hold that one in. Go on, Gamer Dad. Oh dear.
Who's that just come out of the pits in front of... Rashid just got ahead of his Dal. So Dal's just come out the pits. Rashid and Marpat straight through. Dal is down in 14th. In fact, it hasn't updated, but that's what it's suggesting at this moment in time.
Joseph Troll was in the pits. Lenny's in the pits. Okay, so lock and load. He's just going to go. He's got such a gap. He's going to go long. There's no need for him to do anything different at the moment. No one's closing him down, are they? So he's just got to keep going until he has to, I think.
Yeah, I think I've been on board with Marpat for a while now, and I think he needs to. Let's see how he does it this time. I was going to say he needs to adjust his line for Coppis, because the last 3 laps I've seen him take gravel or grass, too much grass there. That time he was wide of the curb, so he needs to do a little bit of adjusting there. We've got 3 abreast behind him. What's going on there?
What, Volton and Co?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not Volton. It must be guys that have been being lapped, maybe. But there was 3 cars fighting down the Dunlop straight there, so I'm just on board with Volton, who's up in 6th place. Granted, he's got to pit yet. But it's been a decent showing from him today so far. Lely is in the pits, by the way. Oh, in fact, Lely's just come out of pits, and as you say, lock and load and crazies have gone in, but Lely's just come out, to be fair.
Yeah.
Mr. Error is also in the pits, so only 3 guys left to pit.
And Rashid. And Marpat.
Right, so just...
Volton won't pit. He won't pit. Volton wants to have all these laps led. Every race, he goes long. So he's not going to pit this lap.
So have we got any close battles at this moment in time? So you've got Marpat is with Rashid, who in the pits, they came in the second half apart.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the only close battle at this moment in time is Dow with
Omros and
Tarkowski.
Dow, Tarkowski, that's it.
And just to go on board with Dow, he looks like he was slow through the old hairpin there. And Omros is right with him. So he's dropped back from Tarkowski, and they've come together in McLean's.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, you're always going to be wide and sweeping into there. That's always going to happen there. That isn't an overtaking place.
Do you know what? Look, but he waited for him. Well done, Omros. He waited and let him through. So he's lost himself a place by waiting, but good sportsmanship, as you always generally find here. And look, Volton is winning the race.
Yeah.
Again.
Just so you know, Chica is 0.6 of a second behind Crazies.
Crazies.
So they're right together.
Good.
Both pitted.
They are.
Yeah.
Chica's
got a run there. It's not going to be enough.
Well, he's got to push him because Crazies isn't going to have tyre temps at the moment. If he's just come out the pits, this is Chica's chance. Hope there's no issues with it as they muller your favourite chicane there. I know. Well, we haven't used it, so I thought, I will.
Let's go on board for a minute, shall we?
Yeah.
Well, they've both gone quite deep into the Melbourne hairpin there.
Yeah.
Still nose to tail.
You keep an eye on that, and I'm keeping an eye on Rashid and Mr. Error, who are a couple of tenths apart.
Cheeky's got a nice tight line through Goddard's, but that BMW seems to have good traction out the corner. They're coming down to Redgate, first corner.
Yep. So Mr. Error looks... Ooh, he was late on the brakes. Coming out of the last hairpin there, but Rashid's got a good traction off the line, so he's kept that gap. In fact, he's increased it to 8 tenths, so I think we can move away from that one at the moment. Ledley's still down in 11th. I mean, I know he's right on the back of King of the Hill, so I'd fancy him to get that move done within the next lap, but he can't be happy with that.
Yeah, it's a shame we can't get a replay because I'd love to see that start, but not that I want to point fingers, but it really did look to me at first instinct that Joseph Tro had tried to make a jink to the left to get past the slower moving car in front of him and totally wiped out Lely, who collected 2 or 3 other cars. But I'll have a look at the replay and reserve judgment until then.
Yeah, and we can obviously keep our eye on the old, the reporting system as well, in case anyone wants to sort of ask for evidence. Not saying that people should ask for evidence, but that's what is there.
So I'm on board with Lely, who who's just taken out King of the Hills, but I don't know. For me, for me, it looked like it might have been a case of that he turned, or King of the Hills turned tighter than Lely was expecting, until Lely was trying to let the car drift.
Yeah. Darren's won out on that one because they've obviously waited for each other. So Darren's jumped past Lely. Not his night at the moment.
No, it's really not, is it?
No. Or Tarkowski's, or Hutch, really.
Yeah, what did we say? Hutch qualified 6th, down in 14th. That's a bit of a disaster, isn't it? I'm not sure what's happened to him. I haven't seen anything.
I think he got tagged. He got tagged at the start.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I say there was 3 or 4 cars, and who exactly was involved? It happened too quick to know, and unfortunately, we don't have replays.
No, that's what we need to employ someone for, to do replays. So Crazy's, he seems to be back in the groove now, so he's gapped Chica at just over a second, so he seems to be out of danger. Now Joseph is 3.3 seconds behind Chica. I want to see what that changes to over the timing line on the start-finish straight, because he looked like he was moving pretty quickly then. Let's see if he's catching him.
So Lely's trying to go up the inside of McLean's, but it's being threatened from behind by Tarkowski up to Coppice, and Tarkowski's up the inside, and they come together again. Bit of a banging of doors. I think Lely needed to give that up there. Tarkowski clearly had the inside line in Coppice, and there's not really 2 lines through Coppice, to be fair.
No, there's not. Well, there is. There's the right one and there's the wrong one.
Yeah, it's not because of how tight the first part of the corner is, and then it opens up. You know, your car gets pushed wide anyway, so you don't want to be side by side there if you can help it. Tarkowski's immediately onto the back of Darren Mark, coming up to Goddard's, and up the inside. Yeah, Darren Mark's gone a bit wide, and we've got a GTR off circuit. Not sure who that is. Oh, King of the Hills by the look of it.
Just to interrupt you there, so Mr. Aaron Rashid have been absolutely bumper to bumper for the last lap or two, and they just went through back marker. I can't see what the number is on that car, but Rashid ended up running deep, and Mr. Aaron's taken that place. So Rashid's trying to come back in 6th and 7th, respectively. Joseph.
Oh, sorry. Darren Mark's just thrown it off. Lely also went off at the circuit but managed to collect it. Sorry, carry on.
So Joseph has cut that gap to Chica by a second in the last lap, so he's only 2.3 off him now. So that's probably going to develop into 6 minutes left if he's at a second a lap to 2 and a bit laps. So he'll have enough time to be able to make a move if he can keep that pace up, or Chica doesn't increase his pace.
I'm watching Shadow Lancer at the moment. Oh, he's a lap down, isn't he? So he's all the way down in 17th, so I guess he must have been involved at the start as well, maybe, or has had some kind of problem since. He's following Rashid and Mr. Error at the moment.
So that was the guy that they lapped. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That was the chap that lapped, yeah.
So yeah, it looks like Mr. Error is now pulling away from Rashid, so whether he's just taken that place or he's just kind of come out of the pits together and he's now stretching away, but he's pulling away at the minute.
You know what? Chica's obviously got the message because he's put his foot down, or Crazy's has had an error because Chica's now on his backside going into the Melbourne Loop, and
yeah,
I mean he's on him, so this could get pretty spicy, especially with Joseph on a bit of a charge behind as well.
Yeah, I can see Joseph.
Nice. Yeah, see those Joseph 3 together. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if these guys, Crazies and Chica, start fighting, that'll give Joseph a bit of hope in front of him. He closed that down significantly over the last few corners.
So I think, given I'm just going to watch this lap unfold, I think Joseph is really quick through the middle sector. So
Joseph's off in the background. He's gone off. Just saw him come through. Craners has thrown it at the scenery.
I've done it again. I've closed him as well. Okay.
Maybe we should both just not say anything at all.
Yeah, maybe we should just say, there's cars on the track, guys. Yeah. Don't they look pretty?
Yeah. welcome to the live stream. This is actually going to hear from us today.
And if you're deaf, lucky you.
Oh dear. Yeah, I have to say that looks like Crazy's has pulled away slightly as well and opened up the gap to Chica.
Yeah. So next closest button we've got is King of the Hills and Lely, but Lely should be pulling away from him. Obviously, no disrespect to King of the Hills. I'm not saying he's not a good driver. Just on current form, Lely should be probably in position number 2.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at Gamerdad. So I'm on board with Gamerdad. You've got Mr. Error 2 seconds behind, and then Rashid another 1.6 behind him. I get the feeling they may be closing him down, because he was all on his own. He's 12 seconds behind Joseph, so he's just got a fight on to protect 5th place at the minute.
Well, he's done well to get to 5th place. That pit stop did work for him, as we said. I think he pitted from probably 16th or 17th. He was the first one to come into the pits. So he's done well out of that. And I do believe he was saying in the chat earlier on that the Nissan wasn't particularly happy around here. So I'm sure he is fighting tooth and nail to keep hold of that, because 5th place would be a good position for him.
Yeah, it'd be a good return. Oh, I've just noticed he's stolen my number, hasn't he? Sorry, random. 13 is not only my own car number.
Unlucky for some, isn't it?
Not for Mr. Gamerdad at the moment.
No.
So have they, or are they, closing him down? It looks like Rashid's dropped off a bit. Yeah, so it does look like they are. The gap's staying the same. Mr. Error is about 2.3 seconds. Rashid's dropped back a touch, because he was 1.6 behind. The next closest race is Hutch and Ulmaros back there. And Hutch is only 1.6 behind Darren Mark in front of him. So they're just coming down Wheatcroft Straight over the start-finish line at the moment, up to Redgate.
I don't think we'll have any change. Like I said that before, when someone's
got a drive-through. So Rashid's got a drive-through.
It's got to be track limits there. Then out these through the chicane. Yeah, he mullered it.
he had just a bit too much then, obviously.
Unlucky Rashid. Yeah, so
just trying to make a move. Yeah, sorry. Oh, who's that? I lost it in front of them. One of the Audis. They've all managed to miss him, but that's given Hutch the chance. But now Hutch has just run it wide through McLean's. And you've got the Bentley of Orboros come through. Oh, and he's just backed out of it for whatever reason. I don't know whether he's just trying to keep out of the championship squabble.
Yeah, I think so. So
Darren Mark's immediately back on it. Hutch is immediately back on it. Chasing down Darren Mark into the S's. Audi versus Audi battle. So where's Rashid's drive-through going to put him?
I reckon it's going to put him in 12th or 13th, probably. Maybe a bit more than that.
So the leader's now on the final lap. Is there anybody that can make a move into this final bit of the race? The closest is Hutch at this moment, so I'm going to stay with this battle for the next few corners, and then we'll obviously jump on board with Lock and Load.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
nothing else. Nothing else is happening at the moment.
We haven't been on board with him this race, have we? Then he's just been gone.
I know. I feel like we sort of do him a disservice sometimes, but.
Okay, so we'll go on board with Lock and Load for the last couple of corners. So it looks like he's just coming out onto the Dunlop straight at the moment. Yes, he is.
Hutch has lost it. Lost it. And it looks like he might have had a tap with Omros as well.
All or nothing. So yeah, Lock and Load, just gone through the S's, coming down to the Melbourne hairpin for the last time. Tukowski in front of him in 10th place, nearly lapped. So Lock and Load has lapped half the field. Again, just kept himself out of trouble up front, nice and clean, nice and consistent. Coming into Goddard's, smoothly around the corner, accelerate down Wheatcroft Straight and across the line to take yet another win.
Well done, Lock and Load. Congratulations, a well-deserved victory. Well-deserved victory. Oh,
So,
Crazies and Chica are going for
yeah,
it.
Chica's run a bit deep into the Melbourne Loop hairpin, though. They've got a back marker in front of them. Is he going to interfere with the race? No, he gets out of the way, which is good. Oh, and Chica looked like he missed the braking zone, but collected it back together. So Crazies will take second place. Chica will round out the podium in third place.
Well done, Chica. Well done, Crazies. Well done. I knew Chica had some pace.
Joseph crosses the line for fourth with a red flag being waved at him for some reason. I don't know why.
Gamer Dad's just got to hold it together. One corner to go.
Yeah.
Just heading, Mr. Error. Well done, Gamer Dad. Good strat.
So Gamer Dad fifth, Mr. Error sixth.
Yep.
Rashid's will turn into a time penalty by the look of it. No, he's gone in the pits now, so do his drive-through at the end. Marpat comes through. Takes seventh, because obviously Rashid's got 30 seconds. As I said, it's converted to a time penalty.
Yeah.
Uvolta ninth, Fikowski 10th, and Lely, who will be so annoyed with that race, 11th place.
Yep. Then King of the Hills, Hutch, Darren, Omars.
You've gone very quiet, Cooper.
Have I?
That's better.
It's because I'm feeling sad.
Sad that you weren't involved in such a great race. Is that why you're sad?
Well, if I was in that race, I probably would have been involved in the first corner incident, let's be honest. Seeing as your racing gods have decided to hate me this week. Okay, so race one done. Lock and Load will extend his lead in the championship. It's good that Chica's got some points on the board. Another good run for Joseph. Crazies, that's a very good effort for him. Going to pick up some points. And well done, Gamer Dad. That's a good effort. Mr. Error, again, he's generally up there. He's always got decent pace. Marpat's had a good run there. Uvolta, that is a good finish, 8th for Uvolta. That longer pitch strategy seemed to work for him there. Tarkowski's had a little bit of a mare, but I suppose he's collected it enough. He's probably finished where he qualified, but I think he could have been higher than that. Rashid had a bit of a mare at the end. Lely's got a lot to do in that second race, although at least he's not starting at the back. So Lely should do what everyone else normally does, and he should pit early in the next race.
Yeah, he's gone long a lot, isn't he, in the last couple of races? But even though starting from the back, but has he though? Because a couple of races had issues, hasn't he? So, so here we go. Okay. Second qualifying is underway. 7 minutes of qualifying only for this. For people that don't know, it's half the qualifying in the second race than there is in the first. Another 30-minute sprint race after this. And the top three guys go to the back of the grid to spice it up. So let's see who can turn it on for this second part of qualifying.
I've just got to go and see the race director for a moment. Is that all right? I've just got to go and some scrutineering or something. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. So Rashid is the first driver out, and Hutch is right up his chuff. Will he back out of it and let Rashid? Let Rashid have a clean run for the first flyer. So let's take a view of what's going on. So Rashid making his way down the Dunlop straight to the S's. Yeah, Hutch wants to back out of this slightly, I would say, because you don't want to be this close, or certainly not for this first part of the Donnington circuit at the start of the flyer, because it's very fast, very sweepy, downforce counts for a lot, so you don't want to be in dirty air with the person in front of you. And he's obviously not going to get past him before the start of the flyers. So the problem now is that if Rashid has any kind of problems in front of him, Hutch might not have anywhere to go, so he should have backed out that. Who have we got stopped at the back there? One of the cars has pulled up, not sure who that is. So Rashid makes his way into Redgate. And through the right-hander of Hollywood. Down the hill, through Craner curves. Not too bad in a GT car, but a single-seater likes to step there. He's picked up some grass and he's lost it going to the old hairpin and into the gravel, so that's Rashid's first hot lap thrown away, unfortunately. So, on board with King of the Hills, who is, I'm not sure if he's on an outlap or on a fast lap. I would suggest he's on an outlap, but I'm not sure. He'd be the next person across the line.
Yes, Michael Massey, we will consider F1 next season. Just leave me and Timmy alone. Okay, alright, I'm back. Sorry, he was bugging me to go and commentate for them. Anyway.
Did you decide for me again?
I did, well,
so you've dumped me with some rubbish GT4 Merc, and you've just told him I don't want to do F1. Is that what I heard?
Yep. That's right. Well, I know you're not interested. You're not in this for the glory or the fame. So, there you go.
Okay, so King of the Hills is about to come across the line. Is this start of a flyer or a flyer? Right, so that's him onto a first flyer. Hutch in the background, I believe. And Hutch indeed goes with a 1:29.1, so the first time on the board. Mr. Error appears to be the next one across the line. I'm assuming this is going to be a flyer, so time's starting to come in. And indeed it is, but he's second, 0.2 behind, and GamerDad goes 0.4 behind with Hutch. So at the moment, Hutch is your provisional pole.
And here we go, the beauty of race 2. It's all jumbled up. It gives the opportunity for our alien wannabes to get involved. Hutch, Error, GamerDad.
Yeah, Dow was the last one that just set a fast time, or flying time. Yeah. 2.1 seconds off the pace, 5th place. The last of our times on the board.
So what we thinking about this one then? So Joseph.
Well, you'd like to think. Sorry, Lely would be.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The man up there. Obviously, having not had a result in the last race, he's going to have the advantage of being able to qualify and start up the front if he can get a lap together.
Hmm.
So number 17 coming through. Who is 17? Rashid. Yeah, so he threw it off at Old Hairpin. So is this an outlap again or a flyer?
Oh.
So it was obviously an outlap again.
So Hutch looks like he's improved a bit there. Hutch, Mr. Error, GamerDad's gone up to 3rd. Only 2 minutes left.
Yeah, Mr. Error's coming through again. Yeah, Error's coming through across the line. Is he going to improve or not? Yes, he does, but still behind Hutch. So obviously, Hutch went faster in that last lap by the look of it, and Mr. Error's got it back to 0.1, but still second place. Your Volton's about to come across the line. Can he improve any? Yeah, takes a second off his time, but still 4th place. But it's an improvement, so if other people put times in, that could keep him up there.
It could indeed.
Kowski, I believe, is the next one across the line. So that must have been an outlap onto a flyer, so no time set for Tukowski. Lely finds himself...
Joseph's gone pole.
Yeah, so Lely finds himself 6th, a second behind off that last lap.
Oh, it's a McLaren lockout at the moment, because Marpat's only 18 thousandths behind Joseph.
Yeah, who's next over the line now? 17. That's
Rashid.
That's Rashid again. Is he going to set a time? Yes, he is. He goes 5th, 0.88 off the time.
But if Lenny's putting pressure on himself.
Marpat improved his time. Only 18 thousandths behind his teammate, Mr. Tro. So 6.66 is that across the line next? Who is Mr. Error?
He goes 3rd.
He goes 3rd, 0.2 off. Is that 79 next over the line? Which is your Volton. Doesn't appear to improve his time. Then you've got Marpat over the line next. Can he pinch that 18 thousandths of a second? Has he done enough? No, he has not done enough by the look of it. So Joseph stays on pole at the moment, or provisional pole. Right, the laps people are on now are going to be the last laps because the time is up for qualifying 2. Tukowski's already seen the checkered flag in 4th place.
Joseph's gone off.
Lely's got 0.1 of a second. Has Joseph got a response?
I think
In fact,
Joseph's validated.
Yeah, Joseph's already over the line. So unfortunately, he's been pipped to pole position currently by Lely.
So we've got Glorious Wings and the McLarens in between them.
So Marpat is still on a lap right at the moment.
Okay.
Should we go on board for the remainder of his lap?
Yeah, I'll have a look at Gamer Dad because he's on a lap. No,
Gamer Dad's oh, and he's lost it somehow. I don't know how. He must have corrected some oversteer coming out of Coppice and has thrown it at the scenery. So that was Marpat's effort finished. Yeah, so that's everybody through and finished qualifying 2. So you've got Lely on pole position with Joseph Tiro in second, Marpat in third, only 0.15 between the top 3 guys, so very close qualifying. Mr. Error in fourth, Tukowski 5th, Hutch 6th, Gamerdad 7th, Rashid 8th, Yvolton 9th, and Shadow Lancer 10th are your top 10. The only other person to set a time was Dal. So nobody else has set a time. Either didn't bother to go out or didn't set a valid lap.
Probably having a comfort break between races. That's probably what it is. The usual suspects then. I think that mid of the top pack, Tukowski, Hutch, Gamerdad and Rashid, I don't think any of them are shrinking violets when it comes to wanting a position, which will be interesting. Oh dear. I'm gonna have to come off comms for a second to go and see to a young lady.
Is he calling you again?
No, it's not Michael this time. It's my team sponsor. So I'm gonna go and see if she's okay. I'll be back as soon as I can. Don't say go at the start.
I won't. Can I say go now instead?
Yeah, say it now.
Okay,
yeah.
go.
Okay, I'll see you.
So they're all formed up on the grid on Wheatcroft Straight in this famous East Midlands circuit here in the UK. It's been unusually good weather at Donnington Park for this racing. So the question is, can the guys who finish 1, 2 and 3 make their way through the field again in this race? So far history tells us that they can. But who knows what goes on if they get involved in a tangle at the start or whether they can keep it clean. So obviously Lely up the front there, redeeming the first part of this race, having had a disaster in the first race. Joseph yet again is right up the front there. And Marpat, his teammates, having a great run at Donnington Park, it has to be said. He's had a few ups and downs in the last race, but definitely competing well near the front. And Tukowski again finds himself at the sharp end. Can he keep it out of trouble at the start? So teams will be making last minute tweaks at this moment in time, maybe some tyre pressure adjustments at the last minute, get the tyre pressures where they need them, where they want them. So Donnington Park is probably one of my favourite circuits to drive. I just love the nature of the circuit, the way it flows. It makes it really exciting. Not so easy to overtake. You've got a shot of overtaking if you get a good run through McLean's up to Coppice by outbraking up the inside. As I said earlier, you don't want to be side by side going through there. You would think that you'd get a good run into the S's, but it's not the most easy position or easy place to overtake. And then the runs to the hairpins. And first corner is not the best place for overtaking. As I say, it's quite a fast right-hander at the end of the straight, so it's not a massive braking zone. So if you can overtake there, it's kind of going to be a throw up the inside job.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I think Mr. Lock and Load hasn't been too impressed with the practice and quali so far. As he put it on chat, that it's like trying to pass random online Monza lobby. It certainly looked like a Monza lobby in that first straight into the first corner. It was absolute chaos, which, well, I was saying before the start of the first race that you wouldn't expect it to be quite like that in terms of it's quite an open, wide first corner for a reasonably short run. But we'll see if they can make it clean this time. So they're making their way down the hill through Craners, obviously warming the brakes, warming the tyres, trying to get everything up to pressure, ready to go at the start. So at the moment you've got the two Bentleys right up the front there and the two McLarens right up the front there. So a bit of a team battle going on at the front. Who can win out at the end of the race? We'll have to wait and see. So coming through McLean's and up the hill to Coppice. So, you know, at the moment in time, people are going through their usual start routines, trying to get themselves calm and collected, ready for the race to commence. Oh, and we've just got somebody throwing it off there. It's one of the Audi boys. Not sure who. So we come down to the S's. People still weaving to warm up the tyres. So Lelio will be hoping to get a clean start after the start of the last race and make it into the first corner without any incident. Question is, can he make some headway at the start, or will Joseph keep him honest? So we come through Malbourne Loop, the Malbourne hairpin, which was added effectively for the 1993 European Grand Prix. I believe it was actually opened with the loop in about 1989, but was added for the 93 Grand Prix, the one Grand Prix that was held there, never held there again since. So here we go, up to the start-finish line on Wheatcroft Straight. And they're away. So this time, this time it looks like we have a clean start. One of the McLarens looking up the inside, but Lely seems to cover the line. Oh, and we've got yet another accident. So 73 Joseph T. Rowe's been hit there by the second Bentley of Mr. Error, who's dropped back a place. So they've all kept it together reasonably well. Apart from that, both drivers still on the circuit. So let's go racing. So Lely makes his way through McLean's, up the hill to Coppice. Brake for the blind turn, right-hander, and sweep onto the Dunlop straight. So we're all line astern at the moment, through the S's, into the Malbourne Loop. So Gamer Dad looks like the closest battle at the moment. So having a go at Hutch, but Hutch defends the inside line. Has that opened the door? It appears to have opened the door for the Bentley of Rashid. Doesn't get good traction though, so gets it all sideways. And Gamer Dad keeps that position. Hutch going defensive into Goddard's. And clean through again. Pit lane is now open if you want to pit, so we'll see if one of the guys, and indeed one of the Bentleys has dropped into the pits immediately. I think it was, yeah, Ormerod's. Surprised Lock and Load hasn't done the same. That would be normally his MO at the start of the race if he's starting at the back. Oh, I was about to say Crazy's the closest one. He's thrown it off through Craner curves there. And somebody else is off just going into Starkeys. Didn't quite catch who that was. It's one of the one of the McLarens, sorry. So Marpat, by the look of it, is thrown it away. So Rashid is right on Gamer Dad. Gamer Dad is also on the back of Hutch still, but Hutch seems to be defending that position well. Rashid's showing his nose. Compromises the line a little bit through the chicane, which allows Chica to close in on him, coming up to the Melbourne Loop. Gamer Dad's looking for the inside. Hutch is wise to it though. Oh, but runs slightly deep. Can he get... Yes, he gets better traction, taking the wider line through the Melbourne Loop as they run down to Goddard's. So let's go on with... So one of the guys has gone in the pits. In fact, it's Joseph T. Rowe has gone into the pits, as it looks like Crazy's is exiting. So on the Gamer Dads, we come through Craner curves, running down to the old hairpin. Keep the line tight. Try and sweep through old hairpin nicely. Use exit curb, but not too much of it. He sweeps through Starkeys and Schwantz into the right hander of McLean's. And Hutch looks like he's pulling up to the back of Mr. Error in front. He's having a really good run at Donnington Park at the moment, so hopefully he'll keep that run going. And Mr. Error goes defensive into the S's. Is it going to compromise his run through the S's and into Melbourne Loop? There's a slow-moving car ahead. Mr. Yvolton, I think, who's a lap down in the Porsche. Mr. Error goes up the inside. Just close racing going on here with Hutch. Oh, and Mr. Error's run deep. Hutch has tried to go up the inside, but I don't think he's managed to get it to stick. It's 4 or 5 cars together running down Wheatcroft Straight into Redgate. This is such a close battle at the moment. Oh, and Error's got it all sideways coming out of Redgate. He's going to come across the circuit. Has he collected anybody? Luckily, it looks like he's missed it. Gamer Dad must have seen it come in and has run wide to avoid him. But unfortunately, Mr. Error's lost it through Redgate and into the wall. So that is the closest race on the circuit, apart from Marpat, who's right up at the moment with Lely. So Marpat was having issues earlier on with a bit of inconsistency through Coppice. And in the background, we've got one of the Audis going wide. One of the blue Audis. So, yeah, Tukowski possibly. Yeah, Tukowski's falling down the list. So it was Tukowski going wide. Must have got it all sideways coming out of Coppice and couldn't quite correct it in time. So Marpat's dropped back a tiny bit in this lap, but he's still there with him. He's keeping Lely honest. So Chica is right up with Rashid. Less than a second behind, coming into Goddard's. And the run down Wheatcroft Straight. It's too far back to get a run into Redgate. Tukowski is not having much luck, and he's spun it again in Goddard's through the tight hairpin. I say it's quite off camber, and you can lose it quite easily if you aren't careful with your throttle. And he's jumped it in the pits, followed by Mr. Error, obviously hoping they'll make some time up by undercutting people in front of them. So again, Chica is the closest race on the circuit, right with Rashid. Hasn't been able to make a move stick so far though. Oh, and Yvolton looks like he lost it in the Porsche again, coming out of Coppice. It's one of the easiest corners to get it wrong. Too early on the throttle over the inside curb. Likes to spit the car out. So Rashid and Chica go into the Melbourne hairpin together. Line astern still. Is it worth Chica thinking about pitting right at the moment, so see if he can work an undercut? Question is, where would it bring him out if he goes into the pits right now? and he's done exactly that. I think that's a wise decision because he was getting held up behind Rashid, so why not try and make the undercut count. The next close battle on the circuit appears to be Gamer Dad. Again, it's with Hutch. Hutch is driving a really good race at the moment. We've got the top 10 still yet to pit, apart from Chica, who we know obviously is already in the pits. Everybody else has already pitted. Joseph Trow is the top guy at the moment who's pitted. So, again, can he work an undercut and make that count ahead of Lely? He doesn't appear to have traffic. We'll just check. Yeah, he's on his own, so as long as he can get some clear laps in, there's a chance that he could undercut Lely and find himself back in first place, depending on how this race pans out at the moment. So the other guys that are pitted, Crazies, you'd expect to be up there. Lock and Load currently is a way back. So I don't think he's likely to catch Joseph T. Rowe and Crazies. I'm going to stick that stake in the ground now, but he could prove me wrong because he is exceptionally quick at every circuit. So Chica finds himself in front of Joseph. So they come through Schwantz and into McLean's. Very easy to run wide there and take too much speed in. Lose speed up the hill to Coppice. Take the inside curve, keep it tight. Oh, Joseph's a little bit too much throttle there. Loses the back end, but managed to keep it together. And is still with Chica as they come up to the S's. Carry as much speed through the chicane as possible. Again, he's got a bit of oversteer. Joseph looks like he's overdriving the car slightly at the moment. And Chica in front of him seems to be driving calmly and cool and collected. Seems to have it under control. Fingers crossed I don't jinx him. Does he defend the line into Goddard's? Right, it's gone for a late apex. It's a nice run out there from Joseph, but Redgate, if it's defended, is not an easy overtaking position. Chica decides he doesn't need to. Takes the normal racing line, but runs deep through Redgate and slow out of Redgate. Joseph gets it all crossed up. So as they run through Hollywood, and then crane occurs, try and pick up the curb on the left. Sweep through, take a lot of the curb. Oh, and Chica's got it sideways there. Slow out of the old hairpin as they go past Starkey's Bridge. Joseph's had to lift out the throttle slightly. Through Schwantz into McLean's. Some good racing going on here, some nice controlled racing. And cleaner run for Joseph this time. But Chica's also got a good run out of there, coming down to the S's. Again, they run down to Melbourne hairpin. Chica should take the inside line and defend. Oh, cuts across there just at the last minute, taking the racing line. Joseph not quite hard enough on the brakes. And whilst all this is going on, Crazy's behind is starting to reel them in. So can Crazy's make this fight count? So where is Lock and Load at the moment? He's the one immediately behind Crazy's, or he was. So Chica's run's been interrupted by Gamer Dad, who's come out of the pits in front of him. Probably won't have his tyres up to pressure yet and up to temperature. But can he hold them together through Old Hairpin? Try not to run wide through there. Oh, and Chica's lost it. Chica had to come out the throttle because Gamer Dad was slightly slow on his cold tyres through there, but he's lost the back end of the car, managed to keep it on the circuit. It's allowed Crazies to come through, and Gamer Dad's now got to deal with Joseph right on him. Some good racing going on. So Shadow Lancer Oh, Darren Marks just goes in the pits, I believe. Yes, he has indeed. So Shadow Lancer goes through into 6th place. Was he being held up? Can he get a fast lap in there to try and get out in front of Darren Mark? So we'll watch out for Shadow Lancer and Darren Mark. So up front, Lely's out there ahead of Hutch, 8 seconds ahead. Marpat's currently in 3rd, only 1.3 behind Hutch. Joseph T-Row can't quite find a way past Gamer Dad at the moment. Lost a little bit of time coming through Redgate by the look of it. Yeah, he's dropped about 0.4 of a second. Got a good run through Old Hairpin. They go through Schwantz into McLean's. Joseph runs a little bit deep and gets on the throttle too early and a bit sideways coming out of McLean's and up the hill to Coppice. Again, Chica's trying to come back at Crazies right now, so Crazies run a little bit wide there. Chica has got the run down to the S's, but not quite close enough to dive on the brakes. Both nicely through the chicane, running down to Melbourne Hairpin. So Darren Mark's come out of the pits in 15th place. So Shadow Lancer is now in the pits. Let's see whether they swap positions or not once he's out of the pits. We've also got King of the Hills in the pits and Rashid in the pits from 4th place. So yet to pit is Lely, Hutch and Marpat. So let's just going to go on with Shadow Lancer, who's still stationary in the pits at this moment in time.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
So Darren Mark comes through there, should be well past Shadow Lancer. So Shadow Lancer is right behind him. So it looks like it's status quo where they went into the pits in the first place. So the overcut didn't seem to work for Shadow Lancer there. So we have, at this moment in time, Lely is in the pits with Hutch, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th all coming through Goddard's at the moment onto Wheatcroft Straight. So Lely is well away out the pits. Marpat is the only person at this moment in time then who's not pitted. So whereabouts is he on the circuit? So he's coming down to what appears to be Goddard's. Yeah, he comes through Goddard's. Is he going to drop it into the pits this time, the last of the pits? Or yes, he is indeed. Into the pits he goes. So let's see where that brings him out. The last stop in the race. Hutch at this moment in time is threatening Lely right at the front there. Say Hutch having a great run at this moment in time. Can he make it stick before Lely gets his tyres up to pressure? So they've gone through the S's by the look of it. Yeah, running down to the Melbourne Hairpin. Showing his nose there. Hutch make Lely think twice. Nice tight lines, both of them. So they run up the hill towards Goddard's. Both safely out of Goddard's and down Wheatcroft Straight. So at this moment in time, Marpat, which I'm really confused about, unless it's not updated, but Marpat is shown first. Oh, there we go, that's better, it's now updated. So Lely is first, Hutch second, Marpat third. Hutch is dropping back a little bit now from Lely. Looks like Lely's now getting his tyre pressures up to speed, as it were. Marpat in the background, 2.6 seconds behind. And Gamerdad fourth. Again, line astern, Gamerdad, Joseph T. Rowe and Crazies and Chica, all within a second of each other. So that's up the hill through Coppice there, onto the Dunlop Straight by the look of it. So they've spread out slightly over this last few corners. Joseph's right with Gamerdad still. So we'll go on board with Joseph to see what's happening there. So we're running up the hill from the Melbourne Loop down to Goddard's, pick up the braking board on the left hand side. A bit tight in there for Joseph's, probably going to bounce him slightly wide. Yeah, it's a bit late on the accelerator there, which has allowed Gamerdad to pull away down Wheatcroft Straight to the braking zone for Redgate. And he's got Crazies large in the mirror behind him. He's gained time through that mistake through Goddard's. Swing it left through Craners and brake into third and sweep through the old hairpin. Bit of understeer there from Joseph by the look of it. The car seemed to push wide through the old hairpin. Oh, and Gamerdad's lost it coming through Swants into the braking zone for McLean's and got the car all crossed up on the brakes. He didn't get the car square before he applied the brakes and lost the back end from locking up. But Joseph has a bit of a moment coming out of Coppice onto the Dunlop Straight. So the question now is, can Crazies make a move? Hutch is still keeping Lely honest up front there, only a second or so behind. And there's a gaggle of cars behind these who are fighting it out at the moment for 6th place. So Joseph again takes a little bit of the grass there at Goddard's, not what you want to do really, but it's got a decent clean run down Wheatcroft Straight, and then Cheek has got it all out of shape behind, coming out of Goddard's hairpin. So Gamerdad is now trying to make a recovery in 8th place, having made that error coming through Schwantz. Nice run for all three of them through old hairpin there. Through left-hand Starkey's Bridge. Left-hander Schwantz. Can Gamerdad navigate McLean's okay this time? Yes, he's clean through. Nice run through there and up the hill to Coppice. So in 14th place at the moment, Shadow Lancer is fighting it out with Mr. Error in 13th place, who I'm sure will be disappointed with this showing at this moment in time. So Lock and Load, whilst we've been talking about all this, he has made his way up to 6th place. Oh, and unfortunately Shadow Lancer has lost it coming through Redgate. But yeah, Lock and Load has made his way through. He's now 3 seconds behind Crazies, and his battle with Joseph Trow is not going to be helping his cause there, allowing Lock and Load to close the gap. So Lock and Load is past Chica and Gamerdad on to Wheatcroft Straight. He'll be looking to hunt down Crazies in front of him. So we haven't seen much of Lock and Load in the first race. Let's go on board for a moment. So he's sweeping down through Hollywood and then Craner curves. Picks up the left-hand side of the circuit nicely for the sweep through the old hairpin. Someone's taking the gravel, and Crazy and Joseph are right on each other in front. One of the other Audis off to the right there sweeping through the right-hander of McLean's with the late apex. Some slow-moving cars ahead. Not what you need into the braking zone, blind braking zone of Coppice, which causes Lock and Load to run slightly deep there. So he's got Hutch, Crazies and T-Row fighting in front of him. So Hutch must have made some kind of an error early on. Unfortunately, we missed it. Looking up the inside of Crazies there was Hutch. Whether Hutch had to go to get past Lely, but it didn't come off, or put the wheel on the gravel or the grass as he was trying to make a move, but he's dropped down to 5th place with Lock and Load right on his tail. They come up to Gollards, 4 of them line astern, and Crazies goes deep there, allows Hutch up the inside. Lock and Load will be looking at this and hoping he can pick up the pieces if something goes wrong in front of him. Goes up the inside of Hutch. Oh! And Hutch nearly come across the front of him there. Managed to avoid each other. They run through Hollywood and down through Craner Curves. Hutch is now right on Crazies. Coming through Starkeys. Schwantz. Hutch gets a good run through McLean's, but not enough to be able to try and break up the inside of Crazies into Coppice. Crazies gets slightly sideways there, has compromised his run. At the moment, Lock and Load looks like he's just sitting there waiting to see what happens and what unfolds in front of him. There's some close fighting up the front here. This will be allowing Lely to just run away up the front there. So Marpat is still keeping Lely honest. Lely is not having an easy time of it up front there. They're both away by 5 seconds, but can them fighting up front allow this gaggle to close them down? So Lock and Load seems to be just keeping a watching brief at this moment in time. So we'll go on board with Marpat for the moment. They come through Old Hairpin. Nice tight line there. Is he going to try and cut back up the inside through Starkeys and up to Schwantz? Marpat's gone slightly wide coming out of McLean's, but keeps hold of it. We needs to watch Dirty Tyres coming through Coppice, but he's got through there okay. Keeps a nice line through the middle of the circuit, as I was saying earlier, where you want to be. And we've got the run down to the S's, but Lely seems to be pulling a bit of a gap there due to the error, which put Marpat out of sequence, coming out onto the Dunlop straight. So behind Lock and Load still appears to be, oh, say he was keeping a watching brief, but he appears to be on his own at the moment. So has he made an error? Did he have a come in together? He certainly seems to have dropped back. I'm sure if he wishes to, he can make that time back up and get back up onto the back of the guys in front. So this group from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th are so close to each other and have been for the last few laps, effectively waiting for somebody to make a mistake to pounce. Lock and Load, like I say, making a watching brief, and Lely appears to be in the pits again. So whether something has happened and he's made an error. In fact, we seem to now have lost Lely. So unfortunately we've lost our leader. I'm not sure what happened there. So Marpat's effectively clear on his own. You've got this battle right now for 2nd and 3rd for the podium positions. But there are several other cars on their tail. So Joseph's trying to close them down. Chica's trying to close them down. And Gamer Dad's also right with them. So Crazy's guns extremely deep into Goddard's. He's gone onto the grass. He's going to lose at least one place there. Managed to get it back on the circuit and accelerating away before Joseph managed to catch him. So a change at the front there. Joseph is now right on the back of Crazy's. Crazy seems very quick in that BMW through Hollywood and Craners. Come nicely out of Old Hairpin, but Joseph gets the better run through Old Hairpin. Gamer Dad seems to have dropped off the back, so he might be falling into the hands of Lock and Load. Now he's on his own, that might make him an easier target for Lock and Load to try and clear, because he's not fighting with others. And Crazy's got it all sideways coming through Coppice. Somehow managed to keep hold of it. That was a great save there by Crazy's, coming down onto Dunlop Straight. And it looks like Lock and Load's got a run on Gamer Dad in the background there as they come up to the S's. So Hutch, Crazy's clean through the S's, running down Melbourne Loop to the Melbourne Hairpin. There's only 1 minute to go. So the next lap is the last lap, or one more after that. They'll have made it to the line. So yeah, 2 laps to go. Can Lock and Load make it any further up the front in the last few minutes of this race? So anything else close going on? Lock and Load's now 0.2 behind Gamer Dad. Can he make the move? These are the closest battles, so we will stay with these at the moment. Joseph goes slightly wide out of Redgate as he goes through Hollywood and down into Craner Curves. Oh, and that looks like it was Javolton off to the side there in the Porsche coming out of Old Hairpins. Probably got it all sideways and off the circuit there. Lock and Load is right with Gamer Dad now. Gamer Dad's got a good line through there, so I don't think Lock and Load can make a run up into Coppice. Seems to be a bit of status quo at this moment. The last move made was by Hutch there, getting past Crazy's, who hasn't managed to quite come back at him, but it's within a second still. So Hutch in second place is doing a great job. Marpat just in front of him, but this is the end of the race. So Marpat is coming through Goddard's and should take the checkered flag on this lap, which he does. Great win. Then Hutch in second place, Crazy's in third, Joseph fourth. Oh, and I've got a drama coming out of Goddard's at the last there. Chica somehow has lost it. We've got Gamer Dad come across the line in fifth, Lock and Load sixth. Chica's got it back in seventh, so had a disaster on the very last corner of the race. Ormeroz coming in eighth, last minute standing. King of the Hills will be the next person. He's quite a way back though, coming down to the Melbourne Loop right at the moment, Melbourne Hairpin, and runs back up the hill to Goddard's. So King of the Hills should take ninth, barring no dramas through Goddard's. So he's safely through. Big Time Dave in the Mercedes should come round to round out your top 10. Shadow Lancer in what looks like a fairly battered and bruised Audi should come across, take 11th place. Mr. Error, who will more than likely be disappointed with the 12th place. Then you've got Tukowski, Dow and Javolton already finished. And Lely, who's finished 3 laps down, so not quite sure what happened to Lely at the end of that race there. So there you have it. guys. First place for Marpat, second for Hutch, third for Crazies, your top three, your podium finishers. Joseph T. Rowe in fourth, Gamer Dad in fifth, Lock and Load worked his way up to sixth, Chica with a disaster on the last corner in seventh, Ormeroz eighth, King of the Hills ninth, and Big Time Dave rounds out your top 10. Wow, what can you say about that race? Excitement, drama, some great racing in there, and a couple of disasters for people that really won't be happy with the way their race unfolded. But that is GT3 Sundays with FRL round 5 at Donnington Park. So I look forward to seeing you again at the next race. So if this race is anything to go by, it should be very entertaining. But thanks for being with us, guys, and we'll see you next time. Timmy Blunder out, and on behalf of Cooper, good night also.